Hey everybody, Danna Demetre here with Lean Healthy Ageless and the co-author of the Eat Live Thrive Diet. I'm excited. I have a guest here today. You can see JODYLYNN Bristol. She is a fabulous researcher, and I found her because I got sent these various beauty devices because of our YouTube channel, and Robyn and I, we're not beauty experts. And so I went looking and I found this fabulous woman who has a YouTube channel called Aging Naturally with JODYLYNN. And she had some of the most thorough reviews of anti-aging skincare products and other topics that were so well done. I had to reach out to her because I have to introduce her to you. So JODYLYNN,
hello.
welcome, and thank you for taking time today just to share why you're doing this, why you spend all this time, because you are such a fabulous researcher. You don't take shortcuts. I can tell.
No, I don't. And thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And I love your channel. I love your book, which we'll talk about in another video, but about the nutrition. But I just love that. And I love what you're doing. So I love what you and Robyn are doing together. So thank you so much for having me on.
Well, you look fabulous. And I know since I will always disclose my age as almost 71, you're only 20 years younger than me. Right?
Gosh, you are beautiful, and you are my goal.
No, thank you. I mean,
it's like I want to look as amazing as you when I'm that age. So
well, and I read in your profile, part of your objective is to start young, and I think this is important. We have women following us, from early 40s through 80. But the earlier you start with doing good skincare and figuring out if any of these gadgets really do work, or whatever, lotions, potions, and gadgets,
yes,
the less we have to do invasive things. And you have a fear of needles, I hear.
yes, that is true. So, and actually, for me, I thought that I started my skincare journey much later than I should have, is what I found out. So I used to be a sun worshiper for sure, in the 70s, 80s.
You
Yeah.
look fabulous,
So
so
thank you. It can be reversed. That's what I found. So I didn't start my skincare journey really until I was like 47 years of age. And I I did clean my face and I did use a moisturizer, but I never used SPF or anything else. I didn't know anything. And, I woke up one morning and it was probably a lot, like it probably wasn't as like I woke up one morning, but it felt like it, where my skin was just really going downward. And I wasn't happy. Lots of sun damage was showing, hyperpigmentation. And I thought, gosh, oh my gosh, what can I do? And yeah, I'm really afraid of doing any needles or anything on the face. And I just wanted to research and see what else, if there was anything else out there. Like, was this or is this my only option?
Yeah.
And so I did a ton of research, and yeah, I started that route. And thankfully, there are a lot of options. And I'm trying to get that word out to women as well who might not want to go down that more invasive route, that you can make change. I've made change with a good skincare system, SPF daily, and the help of beauty devices, which you've got a couple of. They do work, and you can turn back the hands of time. By 5, 10 years, but there's a lot of things that you need to know. So there is, and that's what I talk about on my channel. So I do a ton of device reviews. I've used basically pretty much every at-home technology, not device, but technology that is out on the market as of today. And I've got newbies that are coming here soon. So new
I love
technologies.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I know today we can't cover every single,
No.
wonderful thing, but just a couple highlights. You mentioned hyperpigmentation. I know women of my age category, especially 60 plus, even in the 50s, this is the big area that's hard to treat. And then, of course, these microcurrents, do they work or don't they work? the
Mhm.
neuro laser, does it work or doesn't it work? I don't
Mhm.
know if everything works the same for everybody, but in your experience, maybe just highlight 2 or 3 things that you have been, like really pleasantly surprised about or seen the results. And then, of course, we want to just send people off to your channel to just research and find out more because I know you do so many. So
Yeah, and I do get into a lot of I get pretty technical in some of them, but I do a lot of before and afters as well. So you actually get to see what these devices do on skin that has never had any type of treatments, and no judgment at all for those that do. I get a lot of people that also do watch my channel that do like Botox or fillers, but these beauty devices can help to prolong that as well, so you don't have to get them maybe as often. So the number one thing that I think is super important, and it will not, nothing else will work on the market unless you have a good skincare routine in place and you wear an SPF daily. So if you're not wearing SPF daily, nothing else is going to work, because the UVA, which is the aging rays of the sun, damages our skin, and it um, is the number one reason for premature aging. I didn't know that until much later. It is tons of research that shows that. So it is just, degrading our collagen, and everything else we're doing on our face is increasing collagen. So you're just doing this whole thing. So you're
yeah.
going to waste your money.
Do you address the body as well?
Yeah, I do address the body as well. There's things that you can do for the body.
I'll tell you, Jody Lynn, I had a lot of sun damage as well. I think the one thing is being the somewhat vain woman that I am, I've worn makeup my whole life, which usually has SPF in it.
Hmm.
And I feel like because I wore makeup and good moisturizer, I I didn't age as much here as I did like my chest, my legs from being in the sun. And I'm finding a few things like near infrared is being really helpful. I wish I'd protected more. So I'm glad you made that as the number one thing is just protect. It's never too late to stop the damage. And
And
then
prevent further.
and prevent further. And then the near infrared, I've seen some real changes in my chest and my lower legs, especially. So, yeah. Okay. So number
And
one is SPF.
yes, and I'm glad that you brought up the red light therapy and the near infrared, because that, if anyone asks me what is the device, like if you could only pick one device
Mhm.
for premature aging, what would it be? And it would be LED. There's no LED red light therapy, near infrared light therapy. It's the most researched that is out there, and it works.
Yeah.
It works at building collagen, and it helps to build ATP, which is actually energy in your body, and the way that the energy works and moves, because as we age, our ATP declines. So and so everything is not working as efficiently as it should at a
One.
cellular level. And so LED light therapy helps with that. It helps with pain relief. It helps with hyperpigmentation. It is amazing at what it can do. And I really believe that one day in the future, all tanning beds are going to go away and they're going to be replaced with red light therapy, because we need to have those red light, like that is how important and how well researched it is. And if you get on the bandwagon early with red light therapy, you're going to be happy.
Speaking of tanning beds, I will confess, I lived in Seattle back in
Mhm.
the 70s and early 80s and was a fitness instructor in addition to being a registered nurse. And I got to use these tanning beds, which I thought was how fabulous in Seattle. It felt so good. And I had a tan in the winter, and I'm sure that led to so much skin damage. And now I get my red light therapy in my sauna. I mean,
Yep.
I'm literally trying to turn back, like Cher says, if I could turn back time. And so, thank you for bringing that up. Number one LED device for the face that you love the most. You said that would be the one thing if you could only pick one thing. But do you mind naming your number one
Yeah,
favorite?
absolutely. No. So it really depends on time that you have, and but let me give you a couple of options. So one of my favorite masks is the Current Body. This is wonderful. This is a great company. Omnilux is wonderful as well. I do not have the Omnilux, but either one of these are going to be wonderful. 10 minutes, you wear it on for 10 minutes. You're going to do this for 5 times, 5 days a week, I'd say. Um, it's wonderful. If you want to just lay down, relax for 10 minutes, that's definitely a great device.
Yes.
I've been really getting into panels lately as well, due to panels tend to be a little bit more efficient on time. So there's no like which one is better, a panel or a mask. It's really about the question is which one is more efficient. So you just have to be a lot more consistent, and it's going to take longer with a mask for
Okay.
sure, and just see those results. But if you get into a panel, like I've got right now, it's really big and bulky, so it's right here. I'll show a picture of it, but it's the Huga Pro. It is their LED panel that sits on the desk. And what I love about it the most is first is that you can do 3 to 5 minute treatments 5 days a week. And you can not only get this area, but you're going to get that neck, you're going to get the décolleté because it's large enough where it's going to get this whole area in under 5 minutes. I think that's wonderful if you're willing to sit in front of a lamp. And sometimes I'll even go like this because we forget the
Yeah.
back of our hands as well. And that is an aging sign. Yeah. So bringing your serums here, and we always forget about the neck as well. So, like you said, like this, and you see that, and maybe so many more people, it's this area that tends to show our age more than this area. And making sure you're bringing all of your serums, everything down there. And of
Yeah.
course, your SPF.
Thank you. Well, you mentioned on another conversation we had, I'm just going to ask you maybe to include it. It may not be in your top, but you mentioned something. The one thing you said would maybe help the most because this is a tough area with some of these, the lasers and so forth. And it was a mouthpiece. Do you mind sharing that and sharing the link to your video review of that?
Yes, it is called the Aura Lift. It is amazing, and that is one of the other things that I think if that everyone should actually use. This works at a completely different level, and it is a mouthpiece, and it works like you put it in your mouth and you go like that, and you hold it in there. And you're only using this. What's brilliant about this device is you are only using it 2 times a year. So you get started, you use it for 4 months, and then you'll get 4 months off, and then you go 2 months on, 4 months off, 2 months on, 4 months off. And what it does is it works through adaptation. A dentist actually created the Aura Lift, and I've done a whole video where I interview the doctor as well. So if you want like some really in-depth information, it's super cool. I love him. He's amazing. And they just started doing some clinical studies. So what it does is it works through adaptation, and it is working at a very different level than any of your other devices, in that it's actually kind of like changing the structure of your face, which back to I don't want to say original, state when you were younger, but it gets it takes back the hands of time. So, for example, I noticed that using the device, it was like my cheekbones have moved up compared to when I originally started. So not like the skin on the cheek, but the actual bone itself, which is really amazing, and it really helped with my turkey neck that I was getting right here, as well. I can't get into all of the technology because I'm not but we do talk about it with the doctor, and it's super amazing. It's
Sounds like it's structural, foundational,
yes,
like to that foundation. Then when you're doing maybe a microstimulator or the LED and all that, then you can work on top. You're getting,
yes,
all the layers, all the layers.
yes, because all the layers are important. It's a holistic approach,
This is great. Okay,
not
one
just one thing.
more tip, favorite device or skincare product that you can't live without.
Oh my gosh, there's so many, but I mean, we've already talked about the LED, cannot live without that. SPF cannot live without that. But I'd say as far as device, It's definitely my zip, my microcurrent. And I would go between microcurrent and radio frequency. Um, so I, gosh, this is tough, but for me personally, I've made huge changes in turning back the hands of time on my face, I feel, with microcurrent and then adding in radio frequency.
So what's
Um,
the difference? Can you explain the difference?
yeah, the difference is that microcurrent actually works at a cellular level and it is increasing your ATP, which is also like helping to tone the muscle of the skin. And radio frequency is working through heat to build collagen.
Oh,
So this is getting to that deeper layers of the skin and it's actually providing heat and causing enough stress in
mm,
the area to build collagen over time. So this microcurrent is going to give you a beautiful kind of instant look. As far as an instant lift, I mean, not like a huge lift, but definitely enough that I think that you're going to be happy. And this can give you beautiful skin, like skin rejuvenation, beautiful glow over the long period of time.
mm.
These two together, powerhouses, are great at tightening and toning because this, like I said, it builds collagen, but this is kind of like the skin tightener, the actual skin that it's tightening, and this is like the muscle, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So you can see where like they're going to both be powerhouses and really kind of, and that's what really I saw the major differences when I added in radio frequency.
Yes. So I've heard with these microcurrents, they're not super effective on the neck and you're supposed to kind of just stay to the side.
Yeah, it's going to microcurrent in the new face, and that's a good device as well. And actually, the new face is one of the first microcurrent handheld devices that ever came out in the market. And it's just a really great, well-known device. But it's going to help kind of just minimize these fine lines and wrinkles a little bit, but it's not going to help tighten the skin here at radio frequency. Can
That's
definitely help more with that for sure. And microcurrent, like I said, it'll give you a beautiful kind of instant lift, but you're going to see that that lift will over time. Like tomorrow, it's not going to be there. It's something you got to be consistent with all devices. But you will notice a little bit of minimization and fine lines and wrinkles with uh, microcurrent as well. This is the zip. I'm a skincare junkie. I love doing it. So to me, it's like my time. It's just like, honey, I'm busy right
yes, I love it.
now.
I'm thankful to have found you. And like I
Well,
said
thank you.
at the beginning, to our audience, I mean, you want to find somebody that is credible, that does great research, that takes the time. I hate doing the before and after pictures. I'm always so bad at selfies. And I just went to Jody, I found Jody Lynn on a search, and then I was so impressed with the quality of her videos and the way she reviews. I just want to highly encourage you, if you're checking out any device out there, I'm guessing Jody Lynn has probably checked it out ahead of you. So, you're always looking for good reviews, but where do you find somebody that really will give you complete unbiased information, pros and cons, and all those things? And I love that you look at, what are your expectations and how much time and money do you want to spend? Those are part of this evaluation. So I'm so thankful that you've been able to join us and to introduce you to our community, because I know you're going to be a great resource. So check her out. Again, it's Aging Naturally with Jody Lynn. You're going to find her on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, because when you subscribe and hit the like button, you'll get notified when she does a new video. So that's what I did. So thank you, Jody Lynn. It's been
Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful. I could talk about this all night. So,
but we can do it again, because we need to get the word out, and you are fascinating with all your information. I want to ask you 20 more questions, but I'm not going to. Thank you so much. God bless.